Next we're going to take a look at the sales performance data. It's 5 sales perf data. Double click on that and import this, remembering to call it something. Perf. Sounds good. Call it something that we can remember. I remember to run this time. Good job, Paul. And let's go over to tasks and utilities. Tasks, linear models, linear regression. We're going to choose the dataset that we just imported, the sales perf data. Our dependent variable is sales. We're trying to predict sales using a whole bunch of continuous variables, these guys here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We'll make sure to enter all of these into our model. Add these all in. And hit OK. And now we'll move along to the selection tab. So what I'd like you guys to do is to do selection a whole bunch of different times and keep track of those results, keeping track of which variables are being selected by these methods and which are not. So we're going to start with forward selection with the Schwarz-Bayes criterion, remembering that the Schwarz-Bayes criterion tends to create smaller models. So let's run this and see what we get. Alright, so what's happened is that the Schwarz-Bayes criterion under forward selection has chosen a 4-variable model with accounts, advertising, market potential, and market share. There's that model down there. And so now I've got a spreadsheet open here that I'm going to use to keep track of that. So what do we get? We had accounts, yes, advertising, yes, market potential, yes, market share, yes. Now I'm not going to note down all of these just to save time, but I'll do it for the first one. My adjusted R squared for this one was 88.05%. My root mean squared error, 453.8. Number of variables in my model was 4, and did I have any insignificant variables with p-values greater than 0.05? No, I did not. Alright. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Backward elimination with the Schwarz-Bayes criterion. Nice and easy to do. Backward elimination, Schwarz-Bayes criterion, and hit run. Alright. So now remember we've got to read it backwards in a sense. These are the variables that have been taken out, workload and accounts. So back over here, workload and accounts were removed. The other 5 were included in the model. And since I know this is going to be one of the ones that I'm comparing at the end, let me grab the model details. Root mean squared error was 430.2. For that, lower is better. Adjusted R squared, 89.26, 0.8926. We had 5 variables in the model. Were any of them not significant at the 5% level? Yeah, this change variable is not significant at the 5% level, though it is close. Okay, now stepwise selection using Schwarz-Bayes. This is going to tend to give us the same answer that we find using forward selection, and in fact that's exactly what we found. Accounts, advertising, market potential, market share is just the same as what we got here. Same model, so there's not a lot of point in writing out all of these things because, well, they're just going to be exactly the same as they were for the forward selection version. Okay, so next we'll do all 3 of those again, but this time we'll change to having adjusted R squared as our selection criterion. So we're back to forward selection again. Under forward selection, whoa, now we've got 6 variables entering our model. Accounts, advertising, market potential, market share, change and time, everything but workload. So yes, 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 and not workload. Okay, this is the 3rd model that we're going to actually want to compare, so let's get our model fit statistics here. Our adjusted R squared, 89.38%, 0.8938. Root mean squared error is is 428.0. 428. Number of variables is 6. Are any of them insignificant? Counts is insignificant at the 5% level. Oh crap, so is change, so is time. I'm already not liking this model. We got 3 variables that are not significant. Okay, now let's try backward elimination, see what we get. Backward elimination only eliminates workloads. That's going to give us the same model that we got from forward selection. So let me just copy and paste all of that. And I have a feeling stepwise selection is going to do the same. Oops, change that one. Stepwise selection with adjusted R squared. And run. What do we have? Yep, same 6 variables. So exactly the same results. Okay, so now what I would do is I'd go through and see which variables are always in the model. Market potential is always chosen. Advertising is always chosen. Market share is always chosen. Let's see, change is sometimes chosen. So is accounts, so is time, and workload is never chosen. So I think I'd eliminate workload from consideration here, since none of our models like the workload variable. In whatever final model I'm going to have, I'm going to want to have all 3 of these variables, and then I'm trying to decide between the others. I will say right away, I don't love this guy with the 3 non-significant variables in there. I'd have a hard time showing that and talking about the model because, well, I'm not going to be able to talk about 3 of those variables because they're not significant. I'm not confident in their parameter estimates. So that leads to either of these 2 models here, the one with 4 variables, market potential, advertising, market share, and accounts, or the one with 5 variables, the first 5 on the list here. I'm kind of on the fence between those. The adjusted R squared and root mean squared error are better for the backward elimination model. The number of variables and the number of variables with insignificant p-values are better for the forward selection model. I would tend to lean toward the forward selection model here because I tend to prefer smaller models rather than bigger ones. But if you were doing this for your homework, and bear in mind you will be doing this for your homework, I would be kind of on the fence between these, and I really would not mind which of them you chose as long as you sort of discussed the pluses and minuses of them and said, hey, I'm going to choose this one and just go ahead. Alright, I think that's it for our model selection methods.